Very good evening. So let me introduce my team member, Shubhadeep Sarkar, the CEO and the founder of Py-volution, Shonali Shah, the CMO, Saurabh Goswami, instructor, Siddhartha Dey, financial manager, Pratik Mondal, media manager, Sriparna Roy, marketing manager, Swikriti Das, marketing manager, Trisha Gupta, marketing manager, Bonita Paul, marketing manager, Rudra Purkait, marketing manager. So everybody is very interested to know what is this Py-volution. So I will just tell it in brief. Py-volution is a technological educational institution. It aims for students who want to jump into the field of computer science. It is for the students coming from diverse background and not necessarily computer science. Solution for students who don't or can't buy expensive courses or hire expensive tutors. Enable students from any background to get started in the field of computer science. Trains you and certifies you and also provides you the internship opportunities as well. I will request the CMO of Py-volution, Ms. Shonali Shah, to proceed further. Thank you.
Thank you, Shikriti. And hello, everyone. Welcome to the Python workshop of Py-volution. Hey, I am Swarnali Shah, CMO of Py-volution, here with you on board. Did you know that the core of PUBG is created with Python? Isn't it very interesting? Now let's get started with the insights of what you are going to learn in this workshop. So at first, how computers and programming languages work. What is Python? Why Python, in spite of having many more programming languages? Uses of Python. Companies supporting and using Python. Some of the famous frameworks and modules of Python. Setting up the developer environment, variables, boolean, conditionals, loops, functions, lists, tuples, dictionaries, sets, built-ins, object-oriented programming, and at last but not the least, the interactive quiz. So now I would request Ms. Sriparna Roy to give you the insights about the interactive quiz that we are going to organize at the end of the workshop. Thank you.
Thank you, Shornali. Very good evening, everyone. I am going to talk about the quiz. So, about the quiz, we have 15 MCQ questions that will be displayed on the screen along with their options. You have to write the questions along with the options in a piece of paper. Then, a Google form will be provided to you and you have to submit your answer within next 3 minutes. Next, if you win, the top 5 students are those who submit in the least time and achieves the most marks. Their pictures will be on the official poster of Py-volution and in the Facebook page of Py-volution, and they will get a 10% discount on industrial training. Now I would like to call Trisha Gupta to continue the program.
Thank you, Sriparna. Hello everyone, this is Trisha Gupta and I am a marketing manager at Py-volution. I am here to inform you all that Py-volution is in collaboration with MHRD, Government of India, IIC TMSL, Campus Pro, which is going to provide internship in Python and Ruby at a very low price through live session. And I think this is the best opportunity for you all to grab the chance of getting internship at such a low price. Now, I would like to request Mr. Pratik Mondal to continue with the same.
Thank you, Trisha. Hello guys, this is Pratik Mondal. I'm the media manager of Py-volution. I don't take a lot of time to introduce myself. So I think you all love Python. If you want to be a Pyman from human, then go visit our website. I will give the link in the chat box. Go register yourself for the live classes. Once registered, we will add you to our WhatsApp group. A session will start with 5 to 10 students. And we want to keep the number of students in the group low so that everyone can taught the things well. And let me tell you an interesting thing. At the end of today's workshop, there will be a quiz competition and there we will give 10% discount to the first 5 runner-ups during registration. And you can watch our live classes whenever you want, and our mentors are always there to help you. We will do 2 hours of live class per day, 2 times a week, and a total of 8 classes per month. You may have a question that what is special about these live classes, right? Well, after attending all the live classes, you will get the certificate from Py-volution, and we will also arrange an internship for you. I don't think any learning site or any learning apps offer internship opportunities with the courses. And we will also do a Ruby workshop with the Python. So anyone who wants to do Ruby workshop or courses with Python should go to the website and register yourself. Hurry up, the sites are already filling up. Thank you. I would request Shubhadeep Sarkar to continue the presentation.
Hello, am I audible? Yes.
Yes, you
Hello,
are
team
audible.
members, am I audible?
Yes.
Okay. তো এখানে কারা কারা বাঙালি আছে? একটু মাইক খুলে বল।
আমি আছি।
আচ্ছা। এখানে এমন কেউ আছে যে বাংলা বুঝে না বা মানে নন বেঙ্গলি? কেউ আছে এখানে যে এখন পাইথন ওয়ার্কশপ করছে বাট বাংলা বুঝতে পারছে না এই মুহূর্তে? আমি কি থাকলে বলতে পারিস। নো ওয়ান। আচ্ছা, বাট ঠিক আছে, মেবি থাকতে পারে, তাই জন্য আমি ইংলিশেই বলছি, অসুবিধা হলে নিশ্চয়ই বলিস। আই উইল স্পিক বেঙ্গলি if you would like to. So hi, this is Shubhadeep Sarkar. I am the founder, CEO and Python instructor for Py-volution. Today in this workshop I will first of all let you know what Py-volution is. Although my dear colleagues have already explained what Py-volution is, what are the things Py-volution does, and how Py-volution is beneficial for you and why you should choose Python. And I'll just give a brief summary and then I'll move on to the topics. So basically, if you think that in these 2 hours you will be a Python master, you are wrong, because 2 hours are very, very short to teach some practical things. But definitely, I will try to give some of the very important ideas regarding Python, and which you will actually need to move on further using Python or in general concepts of programming. So first of all, what is Py-volution? So I heard my colleague saying what is Py-volution and what not. So anyone having any idea about Py-volution? They have already spoken about Py-volution. Anyone having any idea? You can just unmute your mic and say whatever you want to about Py-volution, about what you think Py-volution is, or about what are the things you are going to learn today. You can just unmute yourself and speak. No one. Come on, guys. Let's make it let's make it interesting and interactive, because without interaction, there's not it's not going to be interesting. So come on, just open up and say what you think you will be learning today. Any idea? কি শিখবি তোরা আজকে? তুই তো শিখবি, আরে এই জন্য তো এসেছিস এখানে। কি শিখবি বল? এনিওয়ান আছে? কেউ আছে?
I think আজকে পাইথনের ইউজেস নিয়ে আজকে পাইথনের ইউজেস নিয়ে বলবো, কারণ 2 ঘন্টার মধ্যে তো পাইথন ল্যাঙ্গুয়েজটা কমপ্লিটলি শেখা সম্ভব নয়, অনেক বড় ল্যাঙ্গুয়েজ। তো পাইথনের ইউজেস আর কোন কোম্পানিতে কাজে আসে।
হ্যাঁ, এটা কিন্তু খুব বড়। একদম। আচ্ছা, পাইথন কিন্তু সত্যি যেটা ও বললো, পাইথন ইজ আ হিউজ ল্যাঙ্গুয়েজ and Python is so huge that almost every field use হয়. Although there are some of the fields যেখানে Python use হয় না, and I'll come to that definitely, because when you are studying a language you have to understand the pros and the cons of the language, because মানে সব জিনিসটাই না কয়েনের মতন, একটা ভালো দিক থাকে একটা খারাপ দিক। তো জানে প্রোগ্রামিং you have to learn the pros and cons, কারণ if one language was enough to do all the things, বাকি ল্যাঙ্গুয়েজ কেন আসতো, তাই না? তাই জন্য we will talk about more cons of Python. And now I will speak about Py-volution. So basically, guys, Py-volution started around 7 months ago when my dear colleague Siddhartha called me and said, "Bro, can you teach me?" And I was like, "No, man, no, I can't," because generally speaking, I had no interest in teaching, and I am being very honest about that. So I literally said that no, I can't do that. But the next day he called again and he said that, "Well, man, you are amazing at teaching." And I thought, this can't be true. And I got the same feedback from 10 to 15 others. And then I thought, I think I should do something about it. If my knowledge helps someone to grow in their life, to prosper in their life, to develop as a person, as a programmer, as a developer, or as anything, so I can inspire even a single thing in this world, I think I should do it. I should not miss the opportunity. And I would like to take the same. If you can change the lives of people, do it, because change is necessary. So I'm starting. What is Python? Python is a programming language. What is a programming language? We will just break everything down.
একটু সহজ করে বলি সবাইকে।
কেউ বলতে পারবে আমাদের প্রোগ্রামিং ল্যাঙ্গুয়েজ কেন দরকার?
তোমাদের প্রত্যেকের রিপ্লাই দেখে আমি বুঝতে পারলাম
to communicate with the computer, like
ইন্টারেস্টিং এই পাইথন নিয়ে।
to communicate with the computer.
Perfect. ভালো হচ্ছে। আর অন্য কেউ আছে?
হাই লেভেল ল্যাঙ্গুয়েজ থেকে মেশিন ল্যাঙ্গুয়েজে কনভার্ট করার জন্য।
আচ্ছা। তো এটা গেল প্রোগ্রামিং ল্যাঙ্গুয়েজ। এবারে বল কি আমাদের মানুষের ল্যাঙ্গুয়েজ কেন দরকার? Why do we humans need language?
মানে এক্সপ্রেস করার জন্য যে ফিলিংস।
Why do we human need language? Exactly. This is the reason we need programming languages as well, to communicate. Exactly. এবারে একটা প্রবলেম হচ্ছে, imagine the situation. There is prime minister of our country and there is a prime minister of some other country, and they're talking to each other. Now that prime minister is speaking French and our prime minister is speaking Hindi. So there will be a miscommunication, right? So there is something between them that does the communication. That person is called the translator, right? You guys know, right? There is a middle person who translates French into Hindi and translates Hindi into French. That person is called the translator. And this person in computer science is called the compiler or the interpreter.
Unmute yourself.
So basically its function is the same, to convert. Why convert? Because computers do not understand anything other than low and high. What do you mean by low and high? Low voltage and high voltage. And I am not an electronics student, so I am not going to dive into it. But as a computer science student, I'd like to tell you that computers in most basic form understand 0 and 1. 0 means low.
তোমরা যদি চাও,
simply
তোমরা যদি চাও যে
পাইথন নিয়ে
আরো কিছু জানতে,
so in old days
তোমরা যদি
in
চাও
switchboards there were two symbols.
আরো একটু বেশি কিছু জানতে,
round 0 and a single 1.
শুভদীপের মতো এত ভালো মেন্টরকে নিজের গাইড হিসেবে নিতে,
and 0 meant off.
তো আমি তোমাদের প্রত্যেককে রিকোয়েস্ট করব।
No, we can't write 01010. Although in the early days of computer, scientists and programmers used to write in this language. Just imagine how difficult it was to write in these languages. Like you are writing 0101010.
আগে আমায় বলো তোমাদের ওয়ার্কশপ কেমন
লাগছে? The assembly language. It was slightly better than the previous one, but it was hard as well. Some of you who are currently studying computer science or electronics, you will later on read about 8085 microprocessors, controllers, microcontrollers, and all these stuffs. And you have to control them using assembly language, and that is insanely tough because they are not human language. After that came something called programming language, and it was something like BCDL, BC. There were all these different languages. Why do these languages came and why do we call them high-level languages? Any idea? Do you have any idea about high-level languages? What are high-level languages?
High-level languages are those which are easily understood by humans.
Yep.
Well, lots of built-in
modules. We humans are actually lazy, Yeah, of course. All these built-in modules, right answer. Human understandable, right answer. Why? Because we humans are basically lazy. We don't write in the language of others, right? If I don't know French, I won't write in French, right? I will write in my own language. That's what we are doing here, but with some sacrifices. So when you write in WhatsApp, in Bengali, actually, do you use the Bengali language? No, you don't, right? How many of you uses actual Bengali languages? Actually, most of the people don't use that. People use English to write Bengali or English to write Hindi. That's what you all do. That is the case here. We are writing in English, right? Pure English when you are using
আচ্ছা
Python or some
তোমরা
other
আগে আমায়
language.
বলো যে
But
তোমাদের
basically,
ওয়ার্কশপ
these
কেমন
things
লাগছে
will be converted down into some
বলো
other thing.
unmute yourself
That other thing is
unmute
handled.
yourself
That's it. And this process is done by something called
thank
the
you
compiler
thank you
or
thank
the
you so
interpreter.
much
Now, what is the difference between compiler and
আমি
interpreter?
তোমাদেরকে
Both does the same thing, but the way
আচ্ছা
of doing
খুব
it is
ভালো
different. That is the only thing that
আমার যেটা
matters you have to
বলার
understand. And Python is
এটা
an interpreted
ধরে নাও
language.
একটা
And why
ডেমো
am I
ক্লাস
saying that?
ছিল
Is there some
তোমাদের জন্য
experienced guy? Is there some guy who knows
তোমরা
already this
যদি
one?
চাও
Can he or she come
শুভদীপকে
up and
এভাবে
explain
মেন্টর গাইড
what
হিসেবে
are
পেতে
compilers and interpreters? In
আর
Bengali, in Hindi, in whatever language you like
পাইথনটাকে
to. There's no
পুরো
issue. Like
ভালোভাবে
even a single
আয়ত্ত
sentence is
করতে
enough.
তোমরা যদি চাও যে
What is the compiler? What is the interpreter? Any idea? Any, just any idea. Anything will work. Even most stupid things will work.
যদি
Just
চাও
saying. What
পাইথনটাকে
do you think interpreters
আরো
are?
ভালোভাবে নিজেদের
There's no idea. Okay. So I'm explaining. So when you are writing hundreds lines of code and it is a compiled language, that means C, C++, okay, all these are pure compiled languages. Now, there are three types of languages: compiled, interpreted, and mixed. Mixed means they will also be compiled as well as interpreted. For example, Java and C#. These are the languages which are compiled as well as interpreted. C, C++ are only compiled, and Python, Ruby, and all these are great example. Java, Ruby, and Python are interpreted language. Now, what do we mean by this? So, compiled languages is that you have written 10 lines of code. 10 lines of code. You are reading. The compiler does is reads all the line. Okay, so 1 line, 2 line, 3 line, 4 line. It goes all the line. Once done, then it shows you the errors. If it finds some of the error, it will only show that error after reading that 20 lines, not before that.
Okay.
And the program will only run once the whole 20 line gets
তাহলে
converted
আমায়
into
বলো
machine code.
তোমাদের ইন্টার্নশিপ কেমন লাগছে
This is what a compiler is. But with interpreter, there is only one difference. Interpreter also convert these programming languages into machine form, but with a slight difference. And the
বলো
difference is
unmute
that
yourself
you have written 10
বলো
lines.
তোমরা unmute
It
yourself
goes one by
আচ্ছা
one,
আগে আমায় এসব ছাড়ো
and for
আমায়
every
বলো যে
line,
তোমাদের
immediately converts
ওয়ার্কশপ
it to
কেমন
machine
লাগছে
language. This is the difference. Compiler goes all the way through, then converts,
Okay.
but interpreter does one by one.
Okay,
It reads
thank
one
you.
line, converts.
Thank you so much.
Reads one line, converts. There is
আমি
the advantage is that.
একটা জিনিসই বলবো
Okay, how many
যে
of you have
ধরে
written
নাও
C
এটা
code in your
তোমাদের
school
ডেমো
or in your
ক্লাস
first
ছিল
year college? I
যেমন
guess most of you have written C, right? You all
সংলাপ
have C in our
বললো
colleges, right?
যে
How many of you
এতটুকু
have written C?
কন্টেন্টে ইন্ট্রোডাকশন ছাড়া কিছু দেওয়া সম্ভব না হ্যাঁ এটা ইন্ট্রোডাকশনই ছিল
Okay. So when you so many of you have used maybe Turbo C, that blue screen, that blue screen and that ugly looking stuffs. At least I don't like Turbo C, personally speaking. So two processes. Once you compile, then you run. Whenever you have written C or C++, there are two steps of running the program. You compile it first, and then you run it. So basically, you're converting the whole thing into machine code in first
এটা
step, and then you
ইন্ট্রোডাকশনই
are
ছিল
running it.
তোমরা
So there
যদি
are two steps when you are
কমপ্লিট
using
সেশনটা
compiled
চাও তোমরা যদি
But when
কমপ্লিট
you're using
কোর্সটা করতে চাও
interpreted languages like JavaScript as well as
তাহলে
Python or
তোমরা
Ruby, there
ওয়েবসাইটে
is no
যাও
compilation
আমাদের
time.
আমি
It does
চ্যাট
not require
বক্সে
any compilation time. It just you just hit enter
চ্যাট
and
বক্সে
it starts
চ্যাট
running.
বক্সটা
Why?
চেক করো তোমরা
Because
গ্রুপের লিংকটা পাবে
it does not read all the lines.
একদম
It goes by line and converts
সব
it and runs
থেকে
it
কম
immediately. No
অ্যামাউন্ট
next line.
ইউজ করে আমরা এই
So
কোর্সটা
this is the
করাচ্ছি
reason Python has shell,
I think
something
তোমরা
called
দেখেই
shell,
বুঝতে
and I will
পারবে
show
যে
you what a shell is.
অ্যামাউন্টটা
So
খুবই
basically,
কম
this is how computer works underneath. And computer has three
যারা
parts.
যারা চাও জয়েন করতে
Just the basic stuffs. Computer has three parts. What are those? Just a
ওখানে
quick
জয়েন
quiz.
করো তো
And I'm
তোমরা
not talking
যারা
about
যারা
hardware,
চাও
so you
ওখানে
don't need
জয়েন
to
করতে
say mouse, desktop, and
তারা
all those
জয়েন
stuff.
করো
But what are the major three parts of a computer? Anyone? You guys are studying computer science,
I would like
and
to
you should guess it at least. Come on, guys, come on.
Students, answer it.
CPU, GPU.
Yeah, CPU. Yep, okay. Okay, I have got one answer. CPU. Anyone else?
CPU, GPU, ALU.
Anyone else want to try?
CPU, input devices and output devices.
ALU, CPU. Okay, perfect. Okay, nice. But okay, is there anyone else who want to answer? I will say the answer just right now. Is there anyone else who want to try? I have not yet got the perfect answer I'm looking for. Anyone else? You can try. Of course, you can try. And I'm not saying that you know everything, but definitely you can try it. Okay. No one. So computer has three parts: processing, memory, I/O. Processing means where all the things actually computations are done. That means the CPU basically. And I'm not going into the details of CPU, but CPU is the part where all the processing is done. Then comes the memory, where you store and all, you do all those stuff. You store that. And then comes the I/O. I/O means input output. This is your mouse, keyboard, all these stuffs, right? Now, when I'm going into memory, I have two types of memory: secondary and primary memory. Secondary memory is your hard disk devices, pen drives, all these different devices, and primary memory is your RAM. And we are going to do a lot of work in the RAM itself. So whatever variable you are declaring, if you have ever written C code, all the variables that you are declaring is present inside the RAM, not in the hard disk. And when you do file handling, it goes into the hard disk. So this is the difference. So enough talking about computers. I'm moving on to the next topic. Siddhartha, can you please share the screen? Okay, you are already sharing the screen, I guess. Let me see. Okay, for some reason I am not able to see the screen. Siddhartha?
Yes, it is sharing, right? Everyone's see it?
Yes, visible.
Yeah. I know. Okay. Now it's okay. So can we move down?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so the first thing is completed. Now coming to what is Python. So Python is a programming language, as you all know, or you might be knowing that it is a programming language. And Python is one of the slowest programming languages. I'm telling you this. Python is one of the slowest programming languages. Now you will ask me, if it is one of the slowest programming languages, then why are students so crazy over it? Like, everyone is in craze for learning Python. They want to learn Python. Whenever you go outside, they want to learn. So why Python? Because Python allows you to do rapid application development. What is rapid application development? It is the creation of application in the shortest amount of time possible. Basically, when you write languages like C or C++, nowadays C++ has improved a lot. There are STL, there are different libraries and all those stuff. But back in the days, C and C++ had one fault. That was they then didn't allow RAD. RAD means rapid application development. So if some random guy comes and asks you that, bro, I need a project and I need it within a week, and it's a hefty project, it's a big one, you are going to face a hard time because you cannot complete it using C or C++ in a short time. That's difficult, man. That's really difficult. There comes the languages called Java, Python, Ruby, all these different languages. They allow rapid application development, meaning you can complete big projects. Let's say web development projects. Let's say you need to create a website within a week. You can do it using the frameworks of Python. We will cover them, obviously, about them. Django, Flask, there are different frameworks. And there are also others, but these are the most famous ones. If there are some machine learning projects, you can do it using Python. That too, in a matter of days. That's the reason why we use Python. Now, is that the only thing? No, that's not the only thing. Python is the language which has one of the biggest, package manager, pip. It has a repository. Repository, the biggest repository, because everyone writes code and upload it to the repository of Python. Well, not everyone. People who are famous enough to get into the repository. So what is a repository? A repository is like a Play Store. If you have used Android, you must have used Play Store from where you download apps. And when you are using Python, all these different modules, NumPy, SciPy, Matplotlib,
guys,
and
at
all
the
these
end
different
of
fancy
today's
words you
workshop,
hear, Django,
there will be a quiz
Tkinter,
competition.
and all these different
So
things
we will give
are
10%
modules.
discount to the first 5 runners-ups
What are modules? Modules are
during
codes
registration.
written by some other guy,
So don't leave.
which you are using in your code. In Python,
So
if you
don't
want to
leave.
sort, if you want to sort something,
Attend the
you don't need to sort it
quiz
the
competition.
way you sort in
Try
C,
to attend the
because
quiz
Python has already that thing, array.sort, and it's done. So the codes are written by someone else, and you're using it here. That's how Python helps you. And it has so many different modules. Like, where is Python not used, man? Android development, web development, data science, machine learning, artificial intelligence, even ethical hacking, network engineering, network administration. I can go on and on and on. It will never finish. These are some of the uses of Python. Some of them. Because it's so vast that I cannot cover them. That is the thing. And if Python has so many different fields, so what is the most popular field of Python? Can anyone open their mic and say what is the most popular field of Python?
ML and AI.
As engineers, you guys should know this one. This is a common sense question.
Machine learning and
there
AI.
is another one, data science. It is data science. So, yep, exactly. Machine learning, AI, and data science. The three most popular things or fields currently in Python. Not only that, in fact, Django and Flask are popular enough. Search it in Google. You'll find tons of things regarding Django. Why Django? I'm also a Django developer. Let me tell you this thing. Django comes with batteries included. Batteries included means, again, just like Python, it has all the things included. You need a form, it is there. You need something else, it is there. You don't need to write anything, to just make a website. That's how useful it is. So these are some of the uses of Python. Now, what company is supporting and using Python? So some of them, I'm mentioning some of them, which is huge. In fact, we guys use Python. Thousands and thousands of people are using Python, and thousands of people are adapting to Python, because Python is replacing all the different languages. You see, according to the new education policy 2020, although I don't know all the stuffs inside there, I have heard that students from class 6 will be taught programming, and that language will be Python. That's how Python is helpful to kids, to people who are scientists right now, because scientists don't have time to write pointers and integers, malloc, calloc, all these different things. Scientists just don't want to do their work as early as possible. You tell me, will they research for 2 hours, or will they search where is memory missing, where is allocation not working properly, all this stuff? That is a wastage of time for busy people as well as kids, because kids have a hard time understanding these languages, C, C++, Java. Okay, that's the thing. And okay, I'm coming to the companies. Instagram, Spotify, Netflix, Coursera, Udemy, and so many more. Uber, okay, I got it. Uber, and so many different, right? So these companies uses the different modules of Python. For example, Netflix uses Flask. Flask is a micro framework, micro web framework. Why micro? Because just now I told you that Django comes with batteries included, but Flask does not have any batteries. You create it from scratch. It is just like Node.js. If you have worked with Node.js, you must know that Node.js is free of anything. Of course, when you add Express to it, it becomes like Django. But without Express, it's bare bone. So that bare bone thing is Flask. And sometimes people want to do their own thing, because Flask doesn't have any rules, conditions, and all these different stuff. But Django has them. In Django, there is a structure you have to follow rigidly. Even if you don't want to, maybe you want to create something else, but you cannot, because there is a strict guidelines and policies. And this is the reason people use Django. I'm sorry, Flask. Okay. Now, coming to my next point, some famous frameworks and modules of Python. Before I tell you, you tell me. This is just a test of your, knowledge. Anyone who knows some of the fancy terms using Python? Any fancy modules like NumPy or SciPy? Anyone? If I've ever used, I mean. No one. Okay. So there are libraries called pandas and NumPy, SciPy. So what are these? These are modules, and just right now I told you modules are like apps. They have been written by someone else. You're just using it in your own program. So basically, these are the things. So SciPy is called scientific Python. It is used for scientific calculations because there are many times inside data science and other stuffs like machine learning and AI, you require some complicated scientific calculations, and that's when you use SciPy. There is NumPy. It's called numerical Python, and it is also heavily used for calculation, analysis, visualization purposes. Very, very important, right? And not only that, and just give me a second. Not only that, Matplotlib, if you have ever heard of, Matplotlib is a library for plotting graphs. So in the real world, you plot graphs, right? Bar graphs, pie charts, and all those different things. So Matplotlib can help you in that. So Matplotlib, Django, one of the most famous frameworks for web development, because people like sometimes batteries included. People who are noobs, who don't know anything about web development, a lot of things, they can get started with Django within a week. That's how powerful Django is. And Tkinter is for desktop development. What are desktop applications? Let's say you are opening your browser. So this is this is a desktop application. You're opening Microsoft Word. This is a desktop application. You're using some other kind of desktop applications. You're playing games. They are also kind of desktop applications as well. And these are some of the things. And other than this, there are some other modules called PyVertKit. Not that famous, but it will help you. There are pandas, which I will tell you about in a short time. Just give me a second. So before continuing, are you guys enjoying? Because I am not going to very depth of programming. I'm just saying the things which you need to know. Basic conversation with you guys. Okay, great. Are you guys enjoying? Only one. That's it. That's the response.
Yes.
What are the others guys doing?
Yes.
Okay, you are not. Okay.
Guys, how are you enjoying the workshop? Please let us know also.
Because let me tell you this thing, guys. This is our very first workshop, and I know there might be mistakes, and I sincerely apologize for that. And this is our very first workshop, and since we are doing it in Jadavpur University, one of the most reputed institutes across India, we are very, very lucky that we got the opportunity to organize a workshop here, and that to our first workshop. It actually feels amazing, and if you guys are impressed by us, that will mean a lot to me. So please do answer. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Okay.
And guys, you are free to ask anything, and if Shubhadeep, our CEO and the founder of Py-volution, asks you any question, you're free to answer it. If it is wrong also, we would gladly accept the wrong answer, and we will tell the correct answer to you. So don't feel don't hesitate to answer anything. Whichever is coming in your mind, you can freely answer it. Right? And I hope the workshop is going too interesting, and I hope you all are enjoying the workshop.
Okay, now let's moving on to the next topic, which is setting up the developer environment. Now, when we're talking about Python, you have to be very careful when you're setting up the environment. Why? because I just told you there are so many different fields of Python. And yes, I forgot about mentioning Kiwi. Kiwi and Beware. Many of you have been interested about learning Android development, right? There are many of us who wants to be Android developers, who want to build applications for Android. And if you know Python, you can build that too using Kiwi or Beware. These applications, these modules allow you to build complex Android applications and run them into Android. So these are super powerful modules. So yeah, I was setting up the developer environment. So generally, what I prefer is that you have to download VS Code, Visual Studio Code by Microsoft. You have to download it because it is one of the most important and I believe most productive code editor right now. And you can almost run everything.
Welcome back to the channel where I hope you guys are
You can run C,
सुबह की फ्लाइट थी मुंबई से और हम लोग ऑल्दो जल्दी सो गए थे लेकिन हमारी आंखें नहीं खुल रही थी हैप्पी भाई वेट करो हम आते हैं कि शोभित ने बाजू में दूसरा ऑर्डर किया हुआ है तो उसने मुझे यहाँ का एड्रेस दिया मैंने बोला एड्रेस दे तो यहाँ पे रूम के बाद वो मुझे चाबी से तेरा रूम खोलने वाला था मैंने कहा डीएनडी मोड है मैं खोलने वाला था घड़ी लगी थी नहीं खोलता तो फिर उन्होंने फोन किया मैंने चलो भाई काम करो सामान ले लो बाद में हम भी उठ गए तो ये भी आ गया हम बैठ गए थे अभी सब फ्रेश हो गया
that is the most interesting feature of VS Code. Not only that, you can download almost many packages, so many different packages are there inside VS Code. You can just download a package, test it, play with it, you have fun. Because sometimes, I'm telling you this, if you have worked in Turbo C, you have noticed that you feel pain in your eyes, or you feel bored, right? That thing will not happen with VS Code, especially if you modify VS Code. If you customize VS Code according to your needs. When you customize something, it becomes your very own thing. This is the reason why I'm recommending you using VS Code. There are other editors called Sublime Text. You can use it. But nowadays, it's not that much popular, although you can use it as a good option. Sublime Text. There is Atom. But my personal favorite is of course VS Code. So with that, if you are on Linux, let me tell you this thing. Or use Python. Might do terminal one. You open the terminal and you write Python and shell opens. You can do that, but it's not recommended. You have to use BPython. It's called BPython when you're using Linux, and when you are using Windows. You don't have any option other than Python, so you have to use Python in terminal. So what I'm saying is, I'm just showing you how to use this. Just a second. Okay, guys, is my screen visible? Anyone?
No, yes, it is visible now.
Okay, thank you so much. Okay, so how do we start Python? So the simplest way is to go to start and write cmd, and it says command prompt. You hit enter, and you type Python. This is one of the ways.
The screen is not visible.
And it takes time in Windows, especially. Somebody said that. What?
The screen is not visible. I mean, your share screen is not visible.
Yeah.
No, it is visible.
The screen is visible right now. Okay. Thank you so much. So this is one of the way of using Python, which I personally use, but you can also do something like this. Let me exit. You can exit using this, and you can also say Python. So there are two ways of doing the same thing basically. And another thing is that when you install Python, it auto installs something called IDLE. This thing, IDLE. And I'll see what this is the default application in Python. And when you open it, it is a bit colorful and interesting as well. It looks like a notepad editor. But it takes a little bit of time to open. So it's not. So here's the Python shell. Isn't it interesting? So this thing is cute, but actually I don't like this one ideally. Of course, you can use it. So this is one of the way of using these things. Now, there is also Jupyter notebook. I don't have I need Jupyter notebook. But if you are a data science guy, you must use Jupyter notebooks. Yeah, Siddharth.
Your voice is distorted.
Okay.
Your voice is not clear. Just check your mouse.
Can you please repeat the last sentence?
Okay, thank you. Hello, am I audible? Swarnali.
Yes, you are now audible. Please kindly repeat the last sentence. From there only your voice was not clear. Thank you.
Okay. So I was trying to just explain what are the different methods of using Python. So one is using another is using the IE.
সরি গাইস, একটু প্রবলেম হচ্ছে, বুঝতেই পারছিস অনলাইন ক্লাস হচ্ছে, তো একটু ওয়েট করে যা। শুভদীপ নিশ্চয়ই একটু নেটওয়ার্কটা ঠিক করে আসছে, একটু ওয়েট করি প্লিজ। আর কোনো বুঝতে কোনো প্রবলেম হচ্ছে? এনি ডাউট?
এই রিসেন্টলি দাদা যেগুলো বললো সেগুলো বুঝতে পারলাম না।
Yes, Shubhadeep is back now. Shubhadeep, please clear the doubt of Songla, right?
আচ্ছা, তোমরা স্ক্রিনটা সবাই দেখতে পাচ্ছিলে?
স্ক্রিনটা ফ্রিজ হয়ে গেছিল দাদা মাঝখানে, ওই কমান্ড প্রম্পটটা খোলার পর ফ্রিজ হয়ে গেছিল কিছুক্ষণ।
I know. তুমি কি উইন্ডোজ ইউজ করো?
হ্যাঁ, আমি উইন্ডোজ ইউজ করি।
দেন তুমি বুঝতে পারবে হয়তো কতটা প্রবলেম হয়, উইন্ডোজে হ্যাং করে যায় অনেক সময়, তারপর কানেকশন লস হয়ে যায়, তো প্রবলেমস হয়, গ্যারান্টি জানো।
নো প্রবলেম।
একটু প্রবলেম হচ্ছে, অনলাইন হচ্ছে, অফলাইন হলে অনেক বেটার, আরো বেটার এনভায়রনমেন্ট আমরা দিতে পারতাম, বাট একটু প্রবলেম হচ্ছে, প্লিজ কোঅপারেট উইথ আস। হ্যাঁ, শুভদীপ, ইউ আর ব্যাক।
Yeah, am I audible?
Yeah, please turn off your video.
Okay, yeah. I have turned off my video.
Then go for it.
Okay, so yeah, what was the doubt, brother? Anyone?
Your after you open the command prompt, I cannot hear anything. Like, what have you said? Can you repeat just?
Yes, sure. I can repeat, of course. So what I said is that one of the way of using Python is to open the terminal and type in Python and hit enter. It will take you to the Python shell. This is one of the way. And another way is to use Python IDLE. When you hit the start button in Windows, just type IDLE and you will find something. That is the default application installed by the Python interpreter. I hope I'm clear. This time am I clear?
Yes. But before that, do you have to install Python now?
Yes, of course. You have to install Python from the official Python site. And I am mentioning official because, only the official site contains the latest version of Python. So make sure that you're using the latest version of Python. So this is the reason you must install Python. Otherwise, you won't find any IDLE. And yeah, there are other ways of installing Python as well. If you're on Windows, you have something called the Microsoft Store. Have you seen that? People who are on Windows have
Yes,
something
yes.
called the Microsoft Store.
Yep.
Yeah. So Microsoft Store, whatever it provides, don't do it. Okay, because it's bad. Just don't use it. It will actually crash down your system. So whenever you're doing a Python download, make sure you are doing it from the official Python website. Okay?
Okay.
Okay. Shidatu, can you start the screen sharing presentation?
Yes, of course.
Yeah. Thank you.
It is visible or not? Everyone?
Yes, visible.
Yeah.
Yep. Visible.
Yeah.
So
Middle.
I was in the setting up the developer environment. So I have told you, yeah. So I have already set up the basic developer environment, because I'm mentioning the word basic because if you are a machine learning engineer, or if you're interested in machine learning, you have to download something called the, or data science, of course. You have to download something called the Jupyter Notebook or Anaconda. If you download Anaconda, all the things that are required for data science will be automatically downloaded. So that is Anaconda. However, it is a little bit complex to set up. So that's it. Now jumping on to variables. You all have a little bit of idea what are variables. In C, C++, in Java, you have used variables, right? Things which can store things, right? So basically these are containers which can hold the data. And I guess you guys know that. But in Python is a dynamic language, dynamic programming language. What do we mean by dynamic programming language? So dynamic programming language means we do not have to declare what is an integer, what is a float, what is a string, what is a double. We don't have to declare in Python, because in Python, these things are automatically judged in the runtime itself. Runtime means when we are starting the program. That is when Python determines that if it is a string or integer or float or whatever it is. So Python determines everything in runtime. So you don't have to mention it. So that saves a lot of time. But again, that actually introduces you to a lot of error in Python. So variables are just containers which can hold values. And I'm just showing you, once again, I am just turning on my presentation. I'm sorry, on my screen. Shidatu, I am presenting right now. Now is the screen visible, guys? Shidatu.
Yeah, it's going to be visible.
It's going to be, it's not yet
Yes, not yet.
presentation, it's going to be.
Facing a lot of internet issues,
loading.
guys. Okay.
Yeah, now it's visible.
Yeah,
it is
it is
slow.
visible, right? Everyone, it is visible or not?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
So basically, this is how you declare variables, and there is no way of actually declaring variables. You initialize it, right now. So if I say int a, it will give me error. So that is the thing, you can do that, whatever you do in C, right? And again, Python does not require a semicolon. So you must have seen that joke in Facebook, and the semicolon code. And that guy says, well, I use Python. So basically that's the thing. And this is how you declare a variable. So let's say a equals to in right now. And so if I want to check the type of a, I will say type a, and it says int, class int. So it means this is the integer variable. And the magic of Python is that I can assign. Yep.
So your screen is visible, but it is not showing what you are typing. Now it's typing. I think
God.
you have.
This is a very weird.
Yeah. please continue. We are trying something different. Right? Go for it. Go for it.
Okay. I guess there is something wrong with the network actually. There's a sync with a delay. That is the thing. There is a delay in the network. I hope you guys can hear me, like, because the hearing is very important. Am I audible to you guys? Because that's what needs.
Yes, you are.
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Can we make it more
Thank you,
interactive,
sir.
guys? How many have you installed the Python already? Already have Python in your laptops or computer, whatever. How many?
I have Python and VS Code and PyCharm, both, all of them.
Okay.
Great,
Which
great.
version you are using? Python 3.7?
Wait, let me check. I think Python 3.7.2, I guess.
Okay, guys. Let this meeting very interactive. Songla, please present your screen and open your
Actually,
terminal and type the Python 3. So Subhadeep will teach you all.
I am actually using my phone, so I cannot present my screen and laptop. So can I show your back camera? And
So it's okay. It's fine.
It's okay. Yeah,
Okay, no, it's fine. Okay, it's fine. So I'm continuing. Right? I'm continuing. So currently A is of integer type, but now if I say okay, it's 3.9.1. That's great. That is the latest version of Python. That's great. Amazing. Now let's move let's move back to our today's. So now if I assign A to hello, it's a string. How can we understand? Just type A. Now it is a string. You can say A equals to 90.78. It is a float. How can we understand? Type A. It is a float. So see that everything is done executing, right? And it is executing. It is not like C or C++, right? It is instantly executing. It does not take any compilation time. This is called the interpreter, the Python interpreter. Since it is an interpreter, you can use it. Just after hitting enter, it is executed. This is Python. So this is how you use variables. Am I clear, guys? This is how you use variables. And I'm just showing you a trick. What is the trick here? So let's equal to 10, b equals to 20. How do you sort this in C? There are two ways. One is adding, subtracting, and that way, and is to use a third variable. But in Python, you can say a comma b equals to b comma a, and you're done. That is the power of Python, guys. Am I audible? It was clear, or do anyone have any doubts? If anyone has any doubts, you can ask me right now. Guys, Siddhartha, am I audible?
Yes.
And my screen is visible, right?
Guys, yeah, screen is also visible. Please, guys, respond to his question.
Yeah, but do respond. Otherwise it makes me nervous that am I audible or am I visible? That actually
we are not teachers, okay, so you don't need to mute all the time. Just just talk what you want from us and just clear all the doubts. Please go for it. If you want to practice it all, then you can also. Please, Songla, please.
Yes, it's clear. Whatever Dada said, it's clear.
Okay. So now I am going to show you some different. I am going to show you the philosophy of Python. How do you just say import this? This is the philosophy of Python. The Zen of Python by Tim Peters. Beautiful is better than ugly. Explicit is better than implicit. Simple is better than complex. Complex is better than complicated. And they are all given class. This is human Python. import. So this is the name of a module. Just right now, what a module is. Import you this your code. Once again, when I okay, there is a bug, I guess. Can be done only once. Actually, Windows have many bugs, many different bugs inside the interpreter. This is the reason I actually don't use very often. Anyways, moving on to the next topic. I hope variables are clear, and I can do things like, okay, many of you have used C, C++, and Java, and there is something like A++, B++, or +C, and these things are not available inside Python. So if you have A equals to 10, and you say A plus, it will give you A. You have to say A plus equals to 1. This is the only way you include. So this is how operators work inside Python. There are comparisons, and I'm coming to the Boolean part. Just a second. So this is how handle. So I'm doing. Okay. So stopping. Shida, to what topic, bro?
Sorry, I didn't hear you. What you said?
You said, what is the next topic?
Yeah. I'm sharing the screen. Please share.
No. I'm. You just tell me. Can you just tell me? Because I have to do them right now.
Our next topic is Boolean, and after the condition and loops. Now we can continue and present.
Okay, let's continue. Let's continue. Okay. Okay, I'm sharing one. I hope this is visible right now. Please do tell me.
No, actually, this is not visible. So
once it is visible, not yet visible. Okay, once it is visible, please let me know. Is it low?
Yeah. It is actually not visible right now. Just try to visible. আচ্ছা গাইজ, আমি সবাইকেই বলতে চাই আমরা অনেক রকম লিংক প্রোভাইড করছি আমাদের চ্যাট বক্সে। যতক্ষণ না শুভদীপ প্রেজেন্ট করছি, আমি একটা কথা বলতে চাই যে আমরা অনেক রকম লিংক প্রোভাইড করছি। সেই লিঙ্কগুলো প্লিজ একটু ফলো করিস, প্লিজ একটু দেখিস। ওখানে অনেকেই আমাদের এখানে সার্টিফিকেট চাইছে, যেটা আমাদের সার্টিফিকেট এখন অনেকটাই ভ্যালু বেড়ে গেছে। যে এমএইচআরডি, যেরকম ফার্স্টেই আমাদের ইন্ট্রোডাকশন টিম বললো যে আমাদের এমএইচআরডির সাথে কোলাবোরেশন হয়েছে, ক্যাম্পাস প্রোর সাথে কোলাবোরেশন হয়েছে। সো উই আর গিভিং ইউ সার্টিফিকেট। সো প্লিজ go through the link, and after this workshop we are conducting a quiz that is awesome. Please stay for this. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Siddharth. Am I audible right now?
Yeah, please. Yeah, audible.
Okay. So yeah, I'm sharing the screen once again. Okay, let's continue. Let's jump into the Boolean. Now, what is Boolean? This is Boolean. So Boolean will either give you true or false. Chotti ba mithe. That's Boolean. So basically, if I say 1 more than 2, false. 1 less than 2, true. Okay. So 1 plus 1 more than 3, false. But if I say 1 plus 1 equal to 2, okay, this will not work. Why? Because this is a single equal to. We must provide equal to, just like in C or Java. True. Okay. This is how Boolean works. And the same thing occurs with, okay, just a second. And the same thing occurs with if and else. So if you have used if, else, and all these different things, you have seen one or two, right? So they are Boolean. In C, Boolean is represented by 1 or 0. So you say while 1 for all these different things. If equal to 1, and you use these things inside C, but inside Python you use true. And remember, the T is capital, and it matters. Okay. So if I say true, give me error, but if I say true, it will give me true. So basically these are case sensitive things, and you must have capital T, uppercase T for it to work. So this is Boolean, and well, that's pretty much how Boolean works. And now I want to show you the AND operator. So this is how the AND operator works. So if I say true and true, it will give you. If I say true and false, it will give you false. If I say true, okay, if I say false and true, it will give you false. If I say false and false, it will give me false. So only condition is true is that this one, true and true. So basically this is an AND gate. If you have studied digital electronics, you must have heard about AND gate. At least in 11-12 you have heard about the AND gate, OR gate. So these are different things. We have a thing called the OR gate. I'm going to show you. Just a second. So what OR, let me show you, let me demonstrate. True or true gives us true. True or false gives us true. False or true gives us true. False or false gives us false. So this is the only condition where it gives us false. Otherwise, all the things are true. So these are basically OR and AND, and we use these things to combine condition. Now, if I say true and false and or true. Okay, what is the result? Before hitting enter, tell me the result of it. Shidato?
Actually, whatever you type in your computer,
I'm typing is visible.
No, actually, yeah, now it is visible.
Okay.
Because, so all of you can be visible. Sorry. সবাই দেখতে পাচ্ছিস?
না দাদা, সো আমি দেখতে কিছু ভালো করে পাচ্ছি না।
আচ্ছা, এই কন্ডিশনে কি দেখতে পাচ্ছে? আচ্ছা, আমি এটাকে বরং তোদের এখানেই দিয়ে দিচ্ছি। তোরা ট্রু ফলস বুঝতে পেরেছিস তো? অর এন্ড এসব বুঝতে পেরেছিস তো? এগুলো এই অবধি দেখতে পেরেছিস তো সবাই? সেটা বল আমাকে।
হ্যাঁ পেরেছি, বুঝতে পেরেছি।
বাস ঠিক আছে, আমাকে এইটার অ্যানসার দিচ্ছি, আমাকে এই অ্যানসারটা বল।
এটার অ্যানসার ট্রু হবে মেবি, আই গেস।
ওকে, সবাই ট্রাই করো। বল ভাই, এটার অ্যানসার বল সবাই, কি হবে এটা? কেন হবে? ট্রু এন্ড ফলস অর ট্রু?
ট্রু এন্ড ট্রুতে এন্ড করলে তখন ট্রু হবে, এন্ড ফলস অর ফলসের ফলস এন্ড ট্রুতে করলে অর এর জন্য ওটাতেও ট্রু হবে, আর তারপর আবার ট্রু এন্ড ট্রু, সো ট্রু।
Exactly. This is how basically you combine the conditions. This is the combination of conditions. You can use or you can combine. You can use basically and or you can do stuff, and these are pretty useful when you are using if else and all these different stuffs, right? So this is Boolean, false or true. That's the only thing Boolean does, Boolean knows, and that basically. And now the next topic is conditions. What is conditions? If else. So before jumping into the code, how to show face, 1 second. I'm just stopping the presentation. Now opening the camera. Okay, am I visible? Guys?
Yes, you are visible.
Yes.
Perfectly.
So, what if it? What are conditions? Really, if it rains outside, put the umbrella. The condition. It's a single condition. If it's raining, take out umbrella. Condition. Now there can be other conditions. The thing is that he was saying.
Can you hear me?
Yep.
Please switch off your video, then
yes,
your audio will be great. Yeah.
Okay.
Now you.
Okay, I have switched it off. Now I'm audible.
Yeah, you are perfectly audible. Please repeat your previous.
That if it's outside, you will take an umbrella. So there is a if. So there is a single condition, right? But you are not saying anything what to do if it does not rain outside. Right? I am saying what to do if it rains outside, but I am never saying what to do if it not rains outside. That's when comes else part. If it is raining, take out umbrella. Else, take out sunglasses. Let's say for an example. That's just an example. So there are two conditions, right? If this or that. Now there is that or part. This is what you represent using else. So if, else, right? And there is a third thing called else if, or in this case, or in case of Python, it is called elif. 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 It's the same as else. So basically, this is running around your back, and you're trying to escape. So if this is a case of single condition, if the dog is running around you, you run as fast as you can so that you can escape the dog. So that is a single condition. What is the else part? The else part is you can stand. So if the dog is running behind you, you can. If it isn't, then you can stand. You can, you just walk away. There is no problem. You are walking slowly. And in case of elif part, there is a third condition. You feed biscuits to the dog, right? So if the dog is running around you, you run as fast as you can. If the dog is doing nothing, then you sit or you stand or you walk around. And if the dog is coming to you in a friendly way, you feed the dog. So this is the elif part. So this is how you branch conditions. This is called branching. And I'll show you what branching means basically. So this is the classic examples of if else. The concept
Now your presentation is going to be visible. Shubhadeep.
Yep.
I think we after this topic we should go for the quiz section.
Quiz section. Okay, I'll just say things in if. So I am stopping the screen sharing because we don't have a lot of time remaining. So I'm just stopping it. I'm just moving forward with loops. So I hope the if else part is clear. So basically there are conditions. That's there. That's the only thing you need to understand about if else. So if this, do that. If this is not, then do that. Or if there is a third condition, use elif. So this is called conditions. So I'm done with the conditions part. Now I'm coming to the loops part. there are 2 types of loops inside Python, not 3, because when you're using C, C++, Java, there are 3 kind of loops: for loop, while loop, and do while loop. But Python only has 2 types of loop: for loop and while loop. And inside Python, you basically use a for loop like a for each loop. For example, you say like, okay, for this I need to show you an example. So just a second. So this is if else basically. If 4 more than 5, which of colon. So you don't use any brackets, you use colons, and you hit tab. Okay, remember tab, and you say print on this one, print hi, else print by. So this is how you use if else inside Python. If else, basically. This is the way of using if else. And now coming to the loops part, just wanted to show the example of using loop. So for example, for x in range 5, print x. If I say this, see what happens. Look closely what happens. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So range function, it goes 0 to n minus 1. So if this is 5, it goes from 0 to 4, right? So this is the range function, and you're using for in range 5. You're printing the x. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, it stops. It doesn't go to 5. Okay, this is how you use for loop inside Python. And there is another thing called while loop. Now let's say equals to n, and use while a more than 5, print I, and after that a minus 2, 1. So it has print 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So for every time it prints a high, and it subtracts 1 from this a variable. So after, once it does not satisfy this condition, so basically this is a conditional loop. Only once and only this condition is satisfied, the loop will execute it. Basically this is the thing. This is called the while loop. So if there is a condition, so if you want to find out Armstrong number, palindrome number, all these different things, you're going to use while loops. But in other cases, you will use for loops, where you do not have any conditions. Although you can, interchange both of them, but these are the use cases for while loop and for loop. So basically, this is the loop section. And Shidhato, please share your screen. Okay. So we are done with conditionals, loops, functions. So functions are basically pieces of code which you want to reuse, right? So they are the pieces of code which you need a lot of time. So let's say there is a code which you are going to use hundreds of times. Okay. So let's say there are 10 lines of code which you are going to use hundreds of times, and thus you need to write it hundreds of times. So that is bad, right? You want your code to be reusable, right? You write it once and you run it anywhere inside the code. That is function, and I will show you. I'm just explaining the topics right now, and then only I'll go and I'll show you, right? So after functions come lists. So lists are basically containers, and containers in the sense is that if you have used arrays in C or C++ or Java, basically lists are arrays. The only difference is that it doesn't have a type. You can put an integer, you can put a string, you can put float, all in one. You can put everything inside the same thing. So it is homogeneous. Right? It is homogeneous. I'm sorry, not homogeneous. I think heterogeneous. Yeah. So it can contain everything, all the types in one thing, and it does not have any limitation. So there is no such thing that a list has a size of 10 or 15. There is no such thing. Siddhartha, your screen is not visible, bro. Yep, not visible. So basically that is the thing. Inside lists, you can put any number of things. So there are no limitations of size. You can put and put and put. You can put hundreds of things. You can put thousands of things. You can just keep on putting things. And not only that, it has some of the cool methods like deleting the data and pushing the data inside it and all of that different things all built in. So you don't have to write such simple things. So in C, you have to write for loop to insert data into the array. You don't have to do it here. Lists are very powerful, right? And of this, we have tuples. Now I am going to cover something called mutable and immutable data types. So what are mutable and immutable data types? Mutable data types are the things which can be changed, and immutable data types are the things which cannot be changed. So if there is something called apple is a string, right? String means a collection of alphabets, basically apples, or sentence, words. These are all strings. So if I want to change a string, I cannot do that. I can't do that because it is immutable. Similarly, tuples are basically same as lists. It can contain anything, literally anything, and there is no size limitation. But the only difference is that tuples are immutable. You cannot change the values of a tuple, and I will show you that too. Now coming to dictionaries. Dictionaries are the same as hash maps inside JavaScript or Java, right? They are the same thing basically. So what are dictionaries? Dictionaries are key value pairs, basically meaningful data. So if I want to store your name, address, and phone number, I will say name, colon, your name, address, colon, your address, phone number, colon, your address, and put that in a curly bracket. So that is called dictionary. Sets are basically mathematical sets which you have already used in your school days. Maybe you have worked with sets. You have learned set while doing mathematics. So it is basically the same sets. So I am not going into detail of sets because I hope you guys as engineering students, you know what sets are. And then there are some of the built-ins. Built-ins means like there are some of the functions that are already present inside the Python built-in module, like any and all. I will show that. And just a second, there is some problem with payment section. I hope am I clear?
Hello, Pankaj Chaudhary. Can you hear me?
Yes. Hello?
বাংলা বলছি। তুই ফর্মটা ফিল আপ করে সাবমিট করেছিস, তুই ওখানে স্ক্রিনশটটা দিয়ে দিয়েছিস, তো ওই স্ক্রিনশটে ওটা কি ভ্যালিড স্ক্রিনশট নাকি ভ্যালিড নয়?
Hello?
হ্যাঁ, হ্যালো, can you hear me? Pankaj Chaudhary.
I guess आवाज যাচ্ছে না ভাই।
Yes, Siddhartha, your voice is audible. Students, can you please respond?
Pankaj Chaudhary, তুই একটা মানে আমাদের ফর্মটা ফিল আপ করেছিস?
Siddhartha, he is saying that you are inaudible.
Oh, I'm inaudible. Guys, everyone, please respond.
हेलो अच्छा एक सेकंड
Others,
You are
please
audible.
respond.
हेलो
Pankaj Chaudhary audible नहीं है.
हाँ बोल
Okay. Pankaj, I think you are having issue with the network because everyone here is.
Please, Sukriti, 1 minute. Pankaj Chaudhary, I am talking with you. আমি বাংলায় বলছি, তুই ওখানে টাইপ কর, ঠিক আছে? তুই আমাকে বল যে তুই একটা ফর্মটা ফিল আপ করেছিস, তো সেখানে তুই একটা স্ক্রিনশট দিয়েছিস, সেটা কি ভ্যালিড অর ইনভ্যালিড?
ভাই, I think he is Siddhartha? I think you should talk with him in the chat section.
Okay.
He is saying that he is unable to do the payment. He said in the chat box.
But Pankaj, you are submitting the form and you are giving all the details in your form, and you are giving the screenshot over there. Then just I'm asking if the payment is successful or not. Just send the screenshot, please. Continue, please.
Okay, let's continue. And my next topic is object-oriented programming. And I know you guys are thinking like, what are you saying? Like, object-oriented programming is such a big topic to cover, right? Yeah, it is. Definitely it is. And I'm not going to cover it in detail, definitely. But I want you guys to understand what a object is and what a class is. So basically, if you are a student, so what are the things that a student has? It has a roll number, it has a name, it has a student ID and all these stuffs, right? So basically, every student has these things, right? Every student. I have a student ID, you have a student ID, you have your own college institution, right? And the same with, let's say there is some, let me think of an example. So let me say there is a snake. There is a snake. Every snake has the same properties, right? Similarly, these are the objects, the instances, right? These are the instances, and classes are the set of rules basically. So let's say I'll show you definitely. So let's say there is a student class. So the student must have a roll number, a name, address. Let's say. So these are the rules that a student should have. And you, me, Siddhartha, Swarnali, Shriporna, all the people who are right now are the objects, are the instances of that class. So this is the relation between objects and classes. Classes is the way you should create an object, and objects are the actual instances, the product of the creation. So if I say I am currently in a let's say I am in a factory, and in the factory there are cookie machines. So those cookie machines are the classes, and the cookies you are eating right now are the objects. Am I clear? Or do you have any doubts with object-oriented programming? Anyone? If it is clear, please respond, guys.
Yes, bhai.
Hello. Anyone? Okay, thank you. Now coming to inheritance. Inheritance means that, let's say in movies you see horses having wings, right? There are many horses which have wings. So let's say horse is a mammal, and that horse can also fly. Now it has two properties. It has also inherited the properties from a mammal, as well as it has inherited the properties from birds, right? So this is called inheritance. You collect the properties of your ancestors, or base class. That is the thing. And I know it will sound confusing, but this is the thing. Every human cannot be a teacher, but every teacher is a human. I repeat once again, every human is not a teacher, and every teacher is a human. So basically, the teacher has inherited the properties of human. A human has nose, eyes, face, hand. A teacher also has a nose, eyes, face, hand. But the teacher has the skills which a human does not have, right? So this is called inheritance. And there are also different topics such as polymorphism, and I'm not going to detail because it will take time and we have very less time right now. So I'm just going to show it right now, and it will take 5 minutes. After that, we will start with quiz. Siddhartha, is that okay?
Yeah, it is perfectly okay.
Okay. Within 5 minutes, I'll show you what I mean by these things. Okay. Now let's get started. Come on. Fast forward. Come on. Once it is visible, please let me know, Siddhartha, okay?
Okay. Yeah, it is visible. It is perfectly visible.
Okay. So this is how you define a function. You say def. Def means define. This is how you define a function. Let's say the name of the function is foo, and here are the arguments parameters. So let's say it takes two parameters a. These are the parameters. Okay, these are not the arguments, and I will show you what do we mean by these things. So this is how you define a function, and you will say return a plus b. So these are the parameters which you need to pass. Now, if I want to call the function, I will say foo 5 10. These are the arguments, the things which while calling the function are the arguments, and the things which the function actually accepts are the parameters. Now, if I hit enter, it gives me 15. So basically, it returns me a plus b. So this is how you define a function, right? And the next topic is lists and tuples and all those different things. So this is how you define a list. A equals to and square brackets. It looks like an array, but it is not an array. So A is now a list. I can say a dot append. I can say just a second 10. I can say 20. I can say 50. Now if I say A, it has these things 10, 20, 30. And now I have said that A is heterogeneous. So if I say A dot append something like this, hello, it will not give it. See, it has this thing. I can also do something float, like I can say 50.67. Now see, it has integer, it has string, it has float, input, whatever, everything, and there is no limitation of size, just like I told you. And now let me show you that if I want to change it, I will use indexing. Basically, if I 0, it gives me the same. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. The elements are represented using index. This is index. 0 index means the first index. It counts from 0. Everything is counted from 0. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, like that. Now, if I want to change something, let's say I want to change A1 equals to 500. So basically, I want to change this thing to this thing because 0, 1. So I'm talking about this thing. Now, if I enter, see, previously it was 20, now it is 50. This is why I am calling this mutable. This is why I am calling this mutable. But when I am using tuple, if I say 10, 20, 30, we have this tuple. So B is a tuple, right? You can check it. B. So see, this is a tuple. Now if I want to do the same thing, B1, I can display it, but I cannot change it. If I say B1 equals to 600, it gives me error because tuple object does not support item assignment. So you cannot change the items inside a tuple. This is why I am calling this immutable, meaning it cannot be changed. This is called tuple. Now, dictionaries. What are dictionaries?
Surely, your audible is
basically this thing are called dictionaries. So if I'm running,
hello, Shurdeep. I think
yes,
your audible is disconnected.
Yeah, sure.
No, yeah. Now it's clear. My time take to শেষ হয়ে আসছে. So can we move forward for quiz?
ঠিক আছে, আমি হয়ে যাবে. Just give me 5 minutes. Just give me 5 minutes. Finishing it up. I have to show them the dictionary part because these are some of the essentials of Python. Just give me 5 minutes. I'll be completing this. Okay, is my screen visible? Shidato?
Yeah.
Okay. So this is a dictionary. So name, and I can also say address. And address is, let's say, okay, not semicolon, this one, colon. And I say A, B, C, D. And I put something phone number. And phone number is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is a dictionary. If I want to store this somewhere, let's call it C. So C is dictionary. How to access this? Using this. If I say name, show me the name. Is this thing? The phone number. It says this thing, right? So this is called dictionaries. And that's super useful in counting the number of words, the number of alphabets in a word, all these stuffs, right? Now moving on to my next section, sets. Again, I have already told what sets are. So basically, sets look this. Let me show you. D equals to 1, 2, 3, 4. It looks like dictionary, but it is not dictionary. See, here is the difference. Here is the key, here is the value. Here is the key, here is the value. But there is no key value inside set. This is a set. I want to see like this. D, it is set. So now I put value 5, 5, 5 is. Say it will give me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 only. So all the duplicate values are removed. This is how set looks like, and it can do all the operations like set addition, all those different set union, intersection, differences, all those things. This is set. Now coming to object-oriented programming, just a little bit of here. So I can define a class like this, class student. Inside it I can say like it has two values, name. Okay, there is something called construct. And I'm not going to detail because of time limitations. Name and let's say number. Inside here I will say self.name equals to name and self.number equals to number. Now see what happens. Now if I want to create a student, I will say let's say A equals to student. You call it like a function. You pass in two things, name and the numbers. The name is let's say Shubhadeep and the number is let's say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You can see that A is the student object. I can access the values like this: A dot name, I will get Shubhadeep, A dot number, I get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is how you create objects. So this is the class and this is the object itself. The object's name is Shubhadeep. The object's number is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is how object-oriented programming works. And this thing is called the constructor. Basically, when you are creating the object, this is setting the values of the object. So you have passed two things, Shubhadeep and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So then what happens is the object's name is set to Shubhadeep and the object's number is set to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, that is the end of the topic. Siddhartha?
So we are moving forward for our quiz section.
Okay,
so, yeah.
Siddhartha. Hello?
Yeah.
Our presentation, that one?
What? Shubhadeep?
I had shared the link in the group itself. That presentation which I had sent you.
Actually, there is a problem. So I am sharing this portion. This is a Google form which is also shared in this group. So please read out from this.
Okay.
Yeah. So starting with Shubhadeep, please read out the question on options. And students, you have to write down their answer in your copy, and which of those two are giving the first answer, we will give you the 10% discount in our industrial training. So be quick, and Shubhadeep, please read out.
আচ্ছা হ্যালো সংলাপ হ্যাঁ বলেন, হ্যাঁ স্বর্ণালী বলেন।
Hello, Yeah, please click your WhatsApp message. I have sent you the link. Please click the link.
Also, Pius, keep it in
We
mind.
will
Write it down on the paper. No. Don't answer it here. Don't answer it here. Write it down in a piece of paper. You will be given a form to fill it up, right? So don't answer it. Just remember. Okay. So I am repeating the question once again. Who is the
we have to
creator
fill the Google
of the
form
Python
now.
programming language? The options are, yes, you have to fill the Google form, and the link will be sent. Okay. Okay, I'm going further.
It is all.
Okay, my first question is
there
that,
in the chat box, I think.
Okay, I got it. Shida to ekটু দেখে নে ভাই ব্যাপারটা।
Sorry, Songlap, what did you say?
দাদা চ্যাট বক্সে যে গুগল ফর্মটা দিয়েছো ওটাই ফিল করতে হবে না কুইজের জন্য?
হ্যাঁ, ওটাই ফিল করতে হবে তোমার। আচ্ছা, অরিন্দম কি প্রেজেন্ট রয়েছে? অরিন্দম, হ্যালো।
হ্যাঁ দাদা, হ্যাঁ।
আচ্ছা, ঠিক আছে, তাহলে তোমরা দুজনই রয়েছো যাদেরকে কুইজটা করতে হবে। তো তোমাদের দুজনের মধ্যে যে ফার্স্ট সাবমিট করবে, মানে যার সাবমিশনটা আমাদের কাছে প্রথম আসবে, তো তাকে আমরা রেজিস্ট্রেশনের সময় হয়তো 10% ডিসকাউন্ট দেবো। তোমরা যদি রেজিস্টার করতে চাও সেটা নিয়ে জানানো হবে তোমায়। তো কুইজ কম্পিটিশনটায় পার্ট নাও, যে ফার্স্ট পজিশন নেবে তাকে আমরা 10% ডিসকাউন্ট দেবো। থ্যাংক ইউ।
ওকে,
আমরা এখানে কোশ্চেনগুলো পড়ছি, কোশ্চেনগুলো এখানে রিড আউট করছি আমরা, আর অ্যানসার এমসিকিউ গুলোই দেওয়া আছে, কিন্তু গুগল ফর্মে এখানে কেউ অ্যানসার দেবে না। গুগল ফর্মে বানানো আছে, ওখানেই অ্যানসারস গুলো দেওয়া হবে, এখানে কিন্তু কেউ অ্যানসার জন্য না বলে।
Okay, I'm starting.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, Shubhati,
I'm starting.
start now.
Okay, who is the creator of Python programming language? First option, Guido van Rossum. Second option, Dennis Ritchie. Third option, James Gosling. And fourth option, which is of course funny one, Robert Downey Jr. I hope my question is clear. Moving on to the next question. Tuples are mutable lists and Shidato. Okay. Tuples are mutable, lists are immutable objects. True or false? You have to answer. And I will come along the question once again. Don't worry. Now, third question. Functions are same as methods. True or false? Functions are same as methods. True or false? Okay. My next question is that, what is the name of the module used for plotting graphs using Python? NumPy, SciPy, Scrappy, Matplotlib. I repeat my question once again. What is the name of the module used for plotting graphs using Python? NumPy, SciPy, Scrappy, or Matplotlib? My next question is that, Django is a heavy web framework while Flask is a micro web framework. True or false? I repeat my question once again. Django is a heavy web framework while Flask is a micro web framework. True or false? Okay. My next question is that, what is the module used for web scraping? Beautiful Soup, urlib, socket, tkinter. I once again repeat my question. What is the module used for web scraping? Beautiful Soup, urlib, socket, tkinter. My next question is that, a language similar to Python with some minor changes but can run 10x faster. Number 1, PyPy. Number 2, CPython. Number 3, Python. Or number 4, Iron Python. I repeat my question once again. A language similar to Python with some minor changes but can run 10x faster. Option 1, PyPy. Option 2, CPython. Option 3, Python. Or option 4, Iron Python. Next question. Language similar to Python which can be used for controlling microcontrollers. Option 1, MicroPython. Option 2, CircuitPython. Option C, Brython. Option 4, Iron Python. I repeat my question once again. Language similar to Python, which can be used for controlling microcontrollers. Option A, MicroPython. Option B, CircuitPython. Option C, Python. And option D, IronPython. My next question. How to see the Zen of Python? Import this, import Django, import math, or import collections? I repeat my question once again. How to see the Zen of Python? Option 1, import this. Option 2, import Django. Option 3, import math. And option 4, import collections. My next question. Who is the writer of the Zen of Python? Option A, Tim Peters. Option B is James Gosling. Option 3, Linus Torvalds. And option D, Guido van Rossum. I repeat my question once again. Who is the writer of the Zen of Python? Tim Peters, James Gosling, Linus Torvalds, or Guido van Rossum? The infamous Python, MicroPython. I repeat my question once again. Which Python interpreter uses the infamous GIL? CPython, PyPy, IronPython, MicroPython. Okay, next question. Python is slow, but other than that, what are the limitations? First option, poor multi-threading. Second option, no access specifiers. Third option, no multiple inheritance. Or fourth, both 1 and 2. I repeat my question once again. Python is slow, but other than that, what are the limitations? Option 1, poor multi-threading. Option 2, no access specifiers. Option 3, no multiple inheritance. Option D, both 1 and 2. Okay, question number 13. Which programming language has been used to create Python? C++, Java, Rust, or C? And I guess this should be fairly easy. I repeat my question once again. Which programming language has been used to create Python? C++, Java, Rust, or C? Okay, moving on to my next question. Question number 14th.
This is our last question.
Okay. So these were some of the questions. So I hope you have written down the answers. Should I repeat once again? Sangulap or Arindam?
No, I have submitted the form. No, I have also submitted.
Okay. That's great. Thank you for coming and thank you for joining, and thank you especially for sitting there for the last hour. Thank you so much. Now you can leave, and the one who wins will have their own poster, winner poster. Along with that, you will be provided 10% discount for the Python live industrial training, where I will personally teach you all the topics which I couldn't cover in great detail, in high detail. So I hope to see you in the industrial training, and thank you for joining.
সংলাপ অরিন্দম, হয়তো তোমরা চ্যাট বলছি লিভ করলে হয়তো এটা খুঁজে পাবে না, যদি ফিডব্যাক লিংক দেওয়া রয়েছে মেবি চ্যাট বক্সে। হ্যালো
একটু তোর ভয়েসটা ইকো হচ্ছে,
সরি।
এবার ঠিক আছে?
হ্যাঁ, এখন ঠিক আছে, প্লিজ কন্টিনিউ।
বলছি সংলাপ আর যে রয়েছে কে রয়েছে নামটা ভুলে গেলাম, অরিন্দম। সংলাপ অরিন্দম চ্যাট বক্সে ফিডব্যাক লিংক দেওয়া রয়েছে, তোরা হয়তো গ্রুপ থেকে বেরিয়ে গেলে এটা খুঁজে পাবি না, তো ফিডব্যাক লিংকটা একটু ক্লিক করে নিস, তো ওটা একটু করে দিস, ফিডব্যাক দিয়ে দিস।
গট ইট।
আর অরিন্দম, সংলাপ, যারা এখানে যে আছিস, থ্যাংক ইউ সো মাচ আমাদের সাথে কোঅপারেট করে ওয়ার্কশপটাকে সাকসেসফুলি করা। আই হোপ আমাদের শুভদীপ সরকার, যে সিইও, যে অ্যাকচুয়ালি পুরো ওয়ার্কশপটাকে কন্ডাক্ট করেছে, যে পাইথনটাকে পুরো চেষ্টা করেছে খুব সুন্দরভাবে বোঝানোর। আই থিঙ্ক তোরা কাছে সবটা ক্লিয়ার আছে। কোনো ডাউটস থাকলে এখনো জিজ্ঞাসা করতে পারিস, যদি কোনো ডাউটস থাকে। এখনো 5 মিনিটস আছি আমরা, ডাউট থাকলে জিজ্ঞাসা করতে পারিস। আর যেটা হলো কুইজটা গুগল ফর্ম দেওয়াই আছে, তোরা সাবমিটও করে দিয়েছিস, সেটার অ্যান্সার, সেটার রেসপন্সটা আমরা পাঠিয়ে দেবো তোদেরকে, যে তোরা উইনার হবি তাদেরকে আমরা পাঠিয়ে দেবো। আর अगेन থ্যাংক ইউ সো মাচ কোঅপারেট করার জন্য আমাদের সাথে। দ্যাটস অল,
থ্যাংক ইউ তোমাদেরকেও। হ্যাঁ,
কেমন লাগলো আজকে ওয়ার্কশপ?
থ্যাংক ইউ।
কেমন লাগলো ভাই?
আমার একটা জিনিস ভালো লাগলো, ওরা সবাই এত সুন্দর রেসপন্স করলো। সংলাপ অরিন্দম দুজনে খুব ভালো রেসপন্স করেছে।
থ্যাংক ইউ।
এক্স্যাক্টলি, তোরা খুব ভালো রেসপন্স করেছিস আর খুব সুন্দর কোঅপারেট করেছিস, সবচেয়ে বড় কথা খুব সুন্দর কোঅপারেট করেছিস আমাদের সাথে। And it was really,
thank you.
We felt good that you both cooperated so nicely and cordially with us. It was really good. আর এমনি ওয়ার্কশপটা কেমন লাগলো, আর যে শেখালো তোদের অ্যাকচুয়ালি তাকে কেমন লাগলো, বা তার পড়ানোটা কেমন লাগলো তোদের?
কানেকশন যতক্ষণ ভালো ছিল নেটওয়ার্কে খুবই ভালো লাগছিল, বাট মাঝে মাঝে এখন কেটে যাচ্ছিল, তো ইট ওয়াজ ডিস্টার্বিং। বাট তাছাড়া বাকি জিনিসটা বেশ ভালো ছিল। আর অ্যাকচুয়ালি আমি প্রিভিয়াস 1 মাস ধরে মানে পাইথন ট্রাই করছিলাম, তো কিছু নিউ নিউ জিনিস শিখতে পারলাম আর বুঝতে পারলাম আর কি। ইট ওয়াজ গ্রেট।
ওকে, দ্যাট ওয়াজ রিয়েলি প্রিটি গুড টু সাউন্ড। নেটওয়ার্ক ইস্যুস তো হবেই, এটা অনলাইন, এখন কোভিড সিচুয়েশনের জন্য আমাদের তো অফলাইন করাটা পসিবল নয়, অনলাইন হলে খুব সুবিধা আমাদের সাথে, আর কনভারসেশন করতে আমাদের বেশি সুবিধা হতো। বাট কোভিড সিচুয়েশনে, প্যান্ডেমিক সিচুয়েশনে এখনো আমরা অফলাইনটা থ্রো করতে পারবো না, তাই জন্য অনলাইনে কন্ডাক্ট করলাম আমরা। আর তোদের যখন ভালো লেগেছে আমাদের কোঅপারেশন, আমাদের এই ওয়ার্কশপটা, উই আর রিয়েলি গ্ল্যাড। উই আর
আচ্ছা, তোমরা কি সবাই এমনি যাদবপুর ইউনিভার্সিটিতেই ছিলে? মানে যাদবপুর ইউনিভার্সিটি থেকেই করা হলো এটা?
না 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 ভাই, না, একদমই না। আমরা সবাই নিজেদের লোকেশনে আছি, আমরা জাস্ট এটা অনলাইনে করার চেষ্টা করছি।
আচ্ছা।
এটা আমাদের নিজস্ব কোম্পানি, আমরা নিজস্ব কোম্পানি, আর আমরা কন্ডাক্ট করছি সমস্ত। ফার্স্ট টাইম আমরা কন্ডাক্ট করলাম যাদবপুরে, এরপর আমাদের কালকে সরস্বতীপুর, তাই জন্য করতে পারছি না, কিন্তু 17th আমাদের আইএম প্ল্যান আছে, 18th আমাদের ইউএম প্ল্যান আছে, আর নেক্সট উইকটা তো পুরোপুরি প্যাকড। আমাদের প্রায় দিনে 2টো করে, একটা কলেজ হেরিটেজ আছে, টেকনো ইন্ডিয়া আছে, অনেক অনেক কলেজেস আছে। তো যাদবপুরে আবার আসা হবে, তোদের সাথে আবার আশা করি দেখা হবে। তো আবার আসবি, আর পারলে ইন্ডাস্ট্রিয়াল ট্রেনিং এটা একদম জয়েন করিস, কারণ ওটাই মেন। কারণ এইখানে 1 ঘন্টা কি 2 ঘন্টা যত ভালোই নেট থাকুক না কেন, কিছুই থাকুক না কেন, যে কোনো ল্যাঙ্গুয়েজ, যে কোনো প্রোগ্রামিং ল্যাঙ্গুয়েজ শেখা যায় না, এটা তুই নিজেও জানিস। সেটা তো
অবভিয়াসলি ইম্পসিবল।
করার চেষ্টা কর, ওকে? একবার চেষ্টা করে দেখ।
আর মোরওভার হচ্ছে যেটা আমি বলতে চাই, আমি একটু বলছি সংলাপ আর অনিন্দানকে জিনিসটা, যে আমি যখন ফার্স্ট ইয়ারে ছিলাম, তো তখন আমি একটা কোম্পানিতে জয়েন করেছিলাম। বেসিক্যালি আমি ইন্ডাস্ট্রিয়াল ট্রেনিংটা নেওয়ার জন্য, পার্সোনালি স্পিকিং। তো সেখানে আই ওয়াজ চার্জড ₹5,000 টু জয়েন ইট, অ্যান্ড ইট ওয়াজ প্রিটি হেফটি। আর যখন আমি 1 মাস পরে বেরোলাম, আই ওয়াজ লাইক, ভাই এগুলো তো আমি আরামসে শিখে নিতে পারতাম ফর লো প্রাইস। আমার সেটা খুব, মানে কি বলবো, খুব একটা ভালো লাগেনি আমার। অ্যান্ড মেডিকেলটাও খুব একটা মানে প্রো লেভেল ছিলাম না, মানে সেটা আমার খুব খারাপ লেগেছিল। দেন আই ডিসাইডেড কি ঠিক আছে, আই উইল চেঞ্জ দ্য ওয়ে দিস পিপল অ্যাকচুয়ালি ইউজ এডুকেশন ফর বিজনেস পারপাসেস। দ্যাটস ওয়াই কিন্তু আমরা অ্যাজ পাইভলিউশন আমরা কিন্তু প্রসেস লঞ্চ করেছি অ্যাজ লো অ্যাজ ₹500। সো 5,000 থেকে একটা এন্টায়ার জিরো উড়িয়ে দিয়েছি আমরা, জাস্ট বিকজ স্টুডেন্টস এর জন্য, বিকজ আমাদের এখানে মেইন টার্গেট ইজ স্টুডেন্টস, নট বিজনেস। বিকজ লোকে, if you have seen like different websites, তুই দেখেছিস শুধু পাইথনের জন্য they are charging like 5,000, 10,000, all these different things, but at the end of the day তুই সেই লেভেলে শিখতেও পারবি না, 1 মাস পরে ভুলে যাবি, and that is really bad. শুধু তাই না, we have collaborated with campus pro যাতে কি তোরা শিখে ইন্টার্নশিপটাও করতে পারিস। কেননা শুধু শিখলে, I am telling you this thing bro, 3 মাস পরে তুই ভুলে যাবি, but when you are doing an internship you are having some good experience with it, তাই না? তো দিস ইজ দ্য রিজন উই হ্যাভ কোলাবোরেটেড উইথ ক্যাম্পাস প্রো। তুই তাই না, তোর একটা রেকগনিশনও পাবি। তার রিজন হচ্ছে আমরা হলাম গভর্নমেন্ট সার্টিফাইড কোম্পানি, আইআইসি টিএমএসএল এর আন্ডারে আছি আমরা, মিনিস্ট্রি অফ হিউম্যান রিসোর্স ডেভেলপমেন্ট, গভর্নমেন্ট অফ ইন্ডিয়ার আন্ডারে রেজিস্টার্ড আমরা। তাই জন্য আমি জাস্ট বললাম, তোদের যদি ভালো লাগে, যদি ভালো লেগে থাকে আমার পড়ানোটা, ওয়ার্কশপটা, আমাদের এন্টায়ার টিমটাকে যদি পছন্দ হয়ে থাকে, তাহলে প্লিজ জয়েন করিস। উই আর লুকিং ফরওয়ার্ড টু সি ইউ। থ্যাংক ইউ।
দাদা একটা কোশ্চেন ছিল। তো
হ্যাঁ ভাই বল।
বলছি, মানে আমি অ্যাকচুয়ালি পাইথন স্টার্ট করেছিলাম এর জন্য, বিকজ আমার ওপেন সোর্সের প্রতি একটু ইন্টারেস্ট ছিল অ্যান্ড জিসক স্পেশালি। সো তার জন্য আমি শুনেছিলাম একটা সিনিয়র কাছে যে পাইথন ইজ মোস্ট হেল্পফুল দেয়ার কম্পেয়ার টু সি প্লাস প্লাস অ্যান্ড জাভা। তো ওটার জন্য কি আমি কিছু হেল্প পাবো এখান থেকে?
হ্যাঁ, অফকোর্স ইউ উইল গেট দ্য হেল্প। কেননা দেখ, শুধু কিন্তু পাইথন শিখলে হবে না, এটা আই এম টেলিং ইউ দিস থিং। You have to learn, you have to be a specialist, not a generalist. So when you are learning some language, just because the loop, if else, এইসব পারিস বলে don't think that you have mastered the language. You have to learn the different aspects of the language. তোকে machine learning এ যেতে হবে, বা data science বা web development, তোকে কিছু একটা করতে হবে স্পেশালাইজেশন। তারপরে কিন্তু জিসক এর মতন হাই লেভেল মানে কন্টেস্টে তুই যেতে পারবি। কারণ জিসক ইজ ওপেন সোর্স, ওখানে অনেক জিনিস আছে যেগুলো ইনফ্যাক্ট অনেক আর কি কমপ্লিকেটেড বা নিউ, ফর এক্সাম্পল কিউবারনেটিস বা ডকার। তো তোকে এগুলো শিখতে হবে। আর ডেফিনেটলি once you register with Py-volution, we are there to help you for your lifetime. No problem. You can just contact me. You contact any of the member, will be there. আমি তোকে অ্যাসিস্ট করব পার্সোনালি।
ওকে
ওকে, অরিন্দম ভাই কিছু বলবি?
না আর কিছু না, ভালোই লাগলো খুব এটা।
ওকে, থ্যাংক ইউ সো মাচ আসার জন্য। ঠিক আছে, বাকি তোরা ফিডব্যাক ফর্মটা ভোগে দে, কুইজের ওটা তো ভোগেই দিয়েছিস। ঠিক আছে, তাহলে আশা করছি আগামীকালও দেখা হবে আমাদের, 80 দিনে দেখা হবে। ঠিক আছে, তাহলে আমরা একবার হয়তো যাদবপুরে অফলাইনও করাবো লেটার অন, যখন কোভিডটা শেষ হবে ফর শিওর। তো ঠিক আছে, উই উইল হোপ টু সি ইউ দেন। ঠিক আছে, টিল দ্য নেক্সট টাইম, বাই।
ওকে, বাই।
তো
শুভদীপ,
বলো স্যার।
আমরা তো ওয়েট করে করে রয়ে গেলাম রে, আমাদের পার্টি এলো না আর। তুই সব একা করে দিলি কেন?
খুব ভালো হয়েছে,
দারুণ হয়েছে। শুভদীপের আরেকটু টাইম দরকার ছিল। শুভদীপ একটু কমপ্লিট করার জন্য ওর 3-4টে পয়েন্ট ছিল লাস্টে, যেগুলো ছোট ছোট করে খুব ডেসক্রাইব করেছে। তো একটু টাইম পেলে ওর ভালো হতো।
সবচেয়ে বড় প্রবলেম মিস করে গেছি, যেটা হতে পারতো, এটা আমি সত্যি একদম ভাবিনি, ওরেস্ট কেসটা ভাবিনি, যেটা হচ্ছে শুভদীপের নেট যদি খারাপ হয়ে যায় শুভদীপ কি করবে। তো এবার থেকে আমার লিনাক্স আছে, প্রতীকের লিনাক্স আছে, আর স্বর্ণালীর লিনাক্স আছে। না, দরকার নেই লিনাক্স থাকারও দরকার নেই, সবাই পাইথন ইনস্টল করবে। ঠিক আছে, সবাই ইনস্টল করবে। মানে স্বীকৃতি এখন নেই, স্বীকৃতির নেটটা চলে গেছে বাই নেচার। আমার নেটটা এখন চলে যাবে, আমার অলরেডি 400 MB দেখিয়ে দিয়েছে।
দাঁড়া, আমি আগে স্ক্রিন রেকর্ডটা অফ করি। কতক্ষণ ধরে স্ক্রিন রেকর্ড হচ্ছে?
ভাই ভালো হয়েছে তো নাকি জঘন্য হয়েছে?
খুবই ভালো
বলবো
আমি দেখি।
খুবই ভালো, খুবই ভালো।
বিগিনিং ভালো হয়েছে।